Hello everyone, welcome to Tea Time. I just want to give a quick little update as this video starts. I actually filmed most of this video last November, so November of 2022. It is now November 2023, meaning it's been an entire year since I originally kind of made this, but I thought it would be good to eventually get out, and I just thought I would make that clear. All thoughts and all features are pretty much the exact same since it's the same exact stereo, but just thought you should be aware of it. This is the Sony XAV-AX6000. So this is a wireless CarPlay head unit that you can put into pretty much any double DIN opening in a car. So as you can see here, this is my Oldsmobile 2002. So obviously it didn't have CarPlay when it was manufactured. It didn't even have auxiliary or Bluetooth, so this is kind of a big upgrade, and it fits right within this little double DIN opening. So there's kind of three things that this unit has that others don't. This has LDAC support, so high quality wireless streaming over Bluetooth if you have like an Android device. It has USB Type-C, so USB Type-C is on the back, and then you can route it wherever you need to be. That can be used for Android Auto or for charging your phone. But either one can be used wirelessly. And then, like I was saying, the third is that this offers wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, which is pretty nice. So this has, it's a 6.9-inch display on here. Obviously, it can't be much bigger than that because, like I was saying, this is a double DIN opening. If you want something bigger, you're going to have to get a floating display where it just has plugs in a double DIN and then extends outward. But yeah, so has the basic CarPlay stuff. The display itself, this is a capacitive display, so it's not resistive. So this will let you do pinch to zoom. It'll let you do things. It'll just respond a little bit quicker, I guess, when you're using your hand. It can't work with gloves, something that a resistive one would be able to work with, but you don't have to like press in as much. So just a different screen technology for sure. It does have this anti-glare layer on top of the touchscreen, which I can't necessarily say that I love. It looks like there's another screen protector within it. So if I look at this, you can kind of see where it starts right here. Basically it starts here, and then it has the whole rest of the goes over the entire display. Can't say I love it. I think it does help with glare a little bit. However, the problem is that the display looks pretty washed out, and the other thing is that's kind of just dim. That's one thing I don't like about this stereo, but that's kind of the CarPlay stuff. So if you exit the CarPlay interface, this is the kind of Sony interface here. Gives you basic options here on the bottom. So you have things such as radio, Bluetooth, phone, devices, settings, and then you can open it up for more. So you have like USB in here, so you can plug in like a USB drive in the back. It has an HDMI port. I believe it's mini HDMI that you can plug in the back. You can connect to something such as mirroring your phone screen or plugging in some kind of gaming console or something like that. I believe that only works when the parking brake is on. Sirius XM, so you can access that. You just need to buy a little adapter so that it can connect to your antenna in the car. And then rear cam, so if you tap on that, it'll just bring up your backup camera if you have one. But those are kind of the main options here. I like the Sony interfaces because they're pretty simplistic, pretty minimal, but it gives you pretty much everything that you need to use. So I'm just going to turn this down. I think I have it down right now, but I'm just going to walk you through this just in case. So with the radio, again, pretty simplistic stuff here. You can access your stations here on the left-hand side. These are the ones that it comes up with. You can tap this little thing and you can do best tuning memory. So it searches for like stations that are nearby you, and then it kind of lists them here. So it's kind of an easy way to do that. You can also, just scroll through. You can manual tune it, so you can just go, by every 0.2, basically, if you're looking for a specific station. You can also just change it to FM or AM really quick. That's really all that's within the radio part of that. Pretty standard stuff. It doesn't have HD radio, it just has regular radio. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you listen to the radio a whole bunch. Maybe you want to get a unit that has HD radio. Bluetooth, this is pretty simple. I don't think if I tap on this, I don't know. Currently, Android Auto is going. But, you know, say I were to connect this instead. So right now I have my iPhone connected. You know, say I wanted to change it from CarPlay over to just regular Bluetooth. I tap this little thing, I can hit change to Bluetooth. That'll change it so that instead of connecting to CarPlay every time, it'll just connect via Bluetooth connection. So as you can see here, my iPhone 13 was connected. Click on that. Here's the Bluetooth interface for it. Again, pretty simplistic. It's just turned off. It's freaking out because I'm trying to film a video while it's also streaming something. But you just have your basic play, pause, go back, go forward. And it tells you up top, you know, what device is connected, bars, battery, that kind of stuff. That's really about it. And then over here it tells you the codec that it's using. So right now it's using AAC because this is an iPhone. But if you're using an Android device, you could either connect with SBC, AAC, or LDAC, which is pretty cool that it tells you which one it's actively using. You can also change the Bluetooth input level. So, you know, say I wanted to make it louder whenever I connect, you know, if it's compared to whatever, you know, it just depends. That's really all there is to offer in this Bluetooth section. Again, it's kind of freaking out because it's trying to play music while I'm recording a video and it doesn't like that for some reason. Phone, if you click on this, it just gives you access to redial people, have people registered here in your contacts, have a little dial pad. Pretty, again, simplistic thing. I feel like with the phone, or especially the phone, I was going to say the phone and Bluetooth, but especially the phone, most likely you're just going to be accessing that via CarPlay or Android Auto. If you're buying a unit like this, you probably want to take advantage of that kind of stuff. Devices, that's just something in settings. Besides that, USB, pretty much same thing as Bluetooth, just lets you go through whatever. HDMI just brings up the HDMI connection. Sirius XM, I don't have, but it'll just basically say check your tuner. Similar thing to the radio. And then rear cam, if you click on that, it'll bring up your rear cam. I don't have one, so it won't come up. That's really all there is. Here you have your little analog clock, and up here you have the digital clock. So I'll go into the settings. You know, not super exciting stuff, but like I was saying before, device connection, you can have up to 10 devices here. And then you can connect in various ways, so CarPlay, Android Auto, or just Bluetooth. Right now, like I said, I changed it over to the Bluetooth one. If I wanted it, or if I go back here, if I wanted it to change to CarPlay, I can just hit connect to CarPlay or just connect, or whatever I need to do for that. Besides that, you got your sound settings. So EQ, there's a, I don't know what this is, 13 band EQ or something like that. So you can go through and customize this. So there's a few preset ones like pop, dance, you know, hip hop, that kind of stuff. Or you can go to the end and hit custom. If you do that, you can adjust, you know, each of these individually. You can kind of go through and just kind of adjust it. You know, kind of a nice way to customize your music depending upon what you like. One thing that I wish that this unit did have, that it doesn't have, is it doesn't have like an easy EQ setting. So like some stereos have something where they let you just easily, you know, up the bass, up the mid-range, and up the treble, right? Or put it down or whatever. This one, it only offers these, you know, EQ settings that you have to kind of manually go through. So for being such a user-friendly device, it doesn't have something where you can easily just change that stuff. So like say you wanted to add a bit more bass, well then you got to figure out, okay, what do I want to increase here? Not a huge deal, but I think they should offer that kind of a thing. Subwoofer level, you can change that. Again, I don't have a subwoofer in here. Balance fader, so just same thing. Like you can go to the right, you know, left, front, back. Like if you want the speakers to have more sound towards the front because maybe where you're sitting, maybe you want it to be a little bit up front, or maybe one of the speakers for whatever reason is too loud, you can totally adjust that here in the balance fader. It's a pretty nice interface to be able to go through it. A lot of the time, like you just have to spin a dial and then it goes left or right, but this is a really good way of accessing that. Listening position, so this is like the time alignment options here. So this lets all the speakers come to that position or deliver music to that position at that time, at the same time. So like, you know, say that you're sitting in the driver's seat, so like front left, click on that, And all the speakers and all the sound from the speakers should reach you at the same time, so it might sound, a little bit better to you. You can turn that off. You can have it be the whole car. You can adjust it, like you can really measure out where it is you are, where it is you aren't. So kind of a cool option there for sure. I know some people really enjoy that. Some people might never use it. And then there's just the crossover. So you can set like high pass filters, subwoofer for low pass filters, and adjust the slope, and all of that jazz. So that's all that there is in the sound settings. Customize, again, there's not a whole lot here. The custom button, so that's this one. If you click on this right now, it just mutes it. If you hold it down, it'll turn off the display, or you can make it so that it changes the source. So like go to radio, CarPlay, Bluetooth, whatever. I feel like a lot of people probably won't need that. Like if you're changing to the radio, you can just kind of home radio, instead of one tap. It doesn't even decrease the amount of taps you have to make. The other thing here is wallpaper select. So right now the black one comes with 4 built-in ones. So there's a red one, there's this one, there's a blue one, and then you can actually upload your own. So if you put one onto a flash drive, you can browse and then add one. So that's pretty nice that they let you do that. So even though there's only 4, you can really have unlimited, since they have options there for you. Finally, in here we have settings. So just your basic setting stuff. So language, date and time that you set at the beginning. Demo mode, if you turn that on or off, you would only have that on if it's like an in-store demo like at Best Buy. Steering wheel settings, so you can set up kind of the controls here if you have steering wheel controls. Again, I don't. I wish I did, but that's one way to do that. Volume settings, so this has all the different types of volume. So media is like, your music stuff. Phone call, like maybe you want phone calls to be a lot louder. That's how I kind of like it. When a ringtone is coming in, voice recognition, so either Siri or Google Assistant, and navigation guidance, you can adjust those each individually, which is pretty nice. Next we have the audio output channel. So when you have things like Siri coming up, do you want that to be in the front or the rear? Most people probably want it in the front, but you can change that. Dimmer, this lets you manually kind of adjust the dimmer. So if you go like this, it dims it a little bit more, like say it's late at night and you want it to be a little bit dimmer. Or you can have it activate whenever your car lights go on. For whatever reason, I can't get this to work. I checked the wiring, I turned the lights and nothing happened. It didn't change, and I adjusted this too. So I don't know, could just be a me problem or this car, but supposedly when this is on, it's supposed to, when your lights go on, dim automatically. Key illumination, so that's just these keys lighting up, kind of self-explanatory. And then you can set like the brightness. So right now, that's a little bit dimmer, that's a little bit brighter. That's kind of that. Driver's position, left-hand side. Mic adjustment, so like depending upon how big of a car you have, you kind of want to set that so that it knows when to pick up your voice, whether it's on a phone call or using Siri or Google Assistant or anything like that. Just keeping your Bluetooth signal on here, and then pretty much just system information stuff, software. So that's really all there is. Application, I guess I didn't go through this. So the camera display, like for the back, you can set this so that it's either normal or flipped. So say you have like something where a camera that's normally flipped or is not, you can do that. You can have it interrupt. So like if you have this on, whenever you shift into reverse, it'll turn on your rear camera. So, that's nice if you actually have one. And then there's this adjustment here. So you can adjust kind of the guidelines, which is pretty nice to have when you have a backup camera. So that's really all that there is within all of the settings and pretty much all the menus. And then there's this little shortcut that just brings you to devices. I guess I didn't go over that, but it's really about it. It's pretty simplistic radio. I do have some issues with it. CarPlay, wireless CarPlay, I should say first, works pretty well. It's really not laggy. It seems to work every time. I've only had a couple of instances where I was like, oh, it didn't connect, and I just had to reconnect it. One thing I don't like, though, like I said, is the display. It's way too dim. I can't find a way to increase it. The dimming is on the least amount that it can be. And this anti-glare screen, it just makes the whole display look washed out. And it's just not bright enough. Like when I'm in the car and it's even remotely sunny, I want to be able to see the map. I can hardly see the map because it's so dim, and obviously smartphones are a little bit brighter, right? I mean, more recent ones, if you look at like, the iPhone 13, 14, they can get up to like 1,000 nits of brightness, but still it's like, I would rather just have my phone up here and be able to view the maps because it's so much more legible. That's one problem I have with this unit. The other is just overall, like for value for what you're getting here, the other Sony units are a better value for the money. The only reason why I got this was because it had wireless CarPlay. If it didn't, there's really not much here why you should be paying $200-300 more than the other units. This thing is not cheap. And I got this for sale during Black Friday. But, if you're buying this thing brand new, this thing is $700. And at that point, you can go out and get a brand new smartphone, that you'll use for 2-3 years. And, I'm not trying to compare. They're two different things, a head unit and a phone. But for what you're getting here with kind of the minimal settings and whatnot that it has, and basically just allowing you to access wireless CarPlay and all that, it should either be cheaper or it should offer more for what you're getting here. This display should be a lot better. It's only 480p, I should also mention. For that price, and even if it was less than that, it should be at least a 720p display, and it needs to be a lot brighter. Also, I wish you could take this anti-glare layer off. I just wish you could. It just doesn't look great, and it doesn't really help out. But besides that, everything seems to work well. It connects really quickly, so when you turn it on and your phone connects all within 10 seconds, opening up CarPlay and all that, which is awesome. The hard keys down here are very nice. Nice to have instead of on-screen ones, so like home, volume, this one, just be able to move back and forth between your tracks and easily accessing Siri or Google Assistant or something like that. Some problems with this thing. Overall, it's a good head unit. Is it the best that you can get for the price? No. I would say I really like the Sony ones just based on the user experience and kind of the design of them. If you don't mind plugging in your phone, I would probably go for like the Sony XAV-AX6000, or if you wanted a resistive touchscreen, maybe the 3000, or even still the 1000. I love the one with the little volume knob. But if you have the money and you want to go and get a wireless head unit with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, this works really well for that. It offers exactly what you would think it would, but just overall as a package, it could be priced better, and it could work a little bit better, to be completely honest with you. That's really about all I have to say about this. That's really all there is to show. I don't currently have an Android phone here with me, otherwise I would show you how Android Auto works, but I feel like if you are getting this, you most likely know, and you have an Android device, you most likely know how Android Auto works. It works a little bit differently than CarPlay, of course. They both work in different ways, but both of them are very, very useful. If you have any questions about this unit at all, just let me know in the comments below. I'm thinking for me, I'll probably end up returning this and just putting my other radio back in, because I just am not getting quite the benefits that I was kind of hoping for with this, with the whole navigation and music and all that. But it it was worth a shot putting in here, and I think it was worth trying out. So again, if anyone has any questions, just let me know and I'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I will see you guys later. As kind of wrap up, just for some context, I did end up returning this stereo about 3 weeks after having it installed. I installed it myself, as I kind of mentioned within the video, but I just felt that with the price, it just wasn't necessarily worth keeping. So I did package it back up and return it. So let me know if you have any questions whatsoever about it, and I'll be happy to answer them. As always, thank you all so much for tuning in. Tea time, and I'll see you guys later.